Hey, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream Hangout. Hey, Jesse. What's up, Comfort Medic AC and Heating Services? What's up, man? How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody hear me all right? Getting a few more people in. This is strictly a Hangout, guys, tonight. We can talk about anything y'all want to. Answer any questions, anything y'all want to discuss. Just drop it down in the chat. And roll call. What's up, Rob Staub? How you doing, buddy? What's up, Sam? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Thanks, Rob. What's up, Comfort Medic AC and Heating Services? Jesse, my dad did HVAC for 61 years. Wow, that's a long time. 61 years of his life, and is telling me to do a different trade, saying I'm nuts doing this work. Well, I want to argue that, but sounds like he has uh, triple the amount of experience that I do, quadruple actually. Um, so I guess if you want to elaborate a little more on that, why does he think you're nuts? Okay, growing up in the trade with him. All right. Well, you should know a lot more than most people for sure. Wow, 61 years. I can't get over that. That's wild. Well, your dad did HVAC longer than my dad's been alive, so that says something. Everybody, how was everybody's day today that was working? Pretty busy. Wow, I can't get over that. 61 years. That's crazy. That's true, Rob. That's very true. You do something that long, I guess you would be tired of it. Most people are retiring at 61, I feel like 65, 61, 60 to 65. So, unless he's made a lot of money or he's just tired and ready to be done, I guess. Question from Sam. Jesse, I would like to ask you, as much as you can or are willing to, share with us what happened with the former videos and what has changed. Okay. I mean, I can go into that just a little bit. Get a sip real quick. So, basically, what went that was, and basically, long story short, the company I was with, great company, um, we just had an issue come up where we just had to kind of watch. how we approached customers, I guess you could say. So in that case, they didn't want us to. Um, they really just didn't want us to film anymore. So I kind of had to respect their wishes, as anybody should in that situation. Um, but I'll kind of leave that at that. Y'all kind of know from there what kind of I'm talking about. So, and basically, now that time has passed, I'm able to kind of reshare those videos because obviously I'm no longer with that company, and a lot of time has passed to where I make that work now. And basically, um, I'm to a point where I'm able to do it again. Long story short, so I'm still so thrilled to be back. It's felt so good to be back on here. So has killed himself, destroying his body with the heat, etc. He retired in 2016, been doing it as service supervisor. Oh, I see. Does service work. He made good money offshore doing. Oh, offshore doing. Wow, that's cool. Comfort. That's really cool. Putting his body through abuse. I would say so. I bet he's put a lot of wear and tear on his body that most people haven't. That's probably the longest I've heard of somebody being in heat and air. 61 years. That is wild. I love it, but I don't see myself doing it for 60 years. I don't think anybody in here will say that. I don't think anybody in here wants to do it for 60 years. You want to get into auto service. I got you. Okay. I took several automotive classes in high school. I liked it, but I never could pull the trigger on wanting to pursue that. I never loved it as much as I did when I found out about heating and air. Oh, that's funny, Rob. Okay, so everybody, you see his comment, Jeff, and cranky he was, been doing it 35 years. All right, so Rob Staub HVAC. I'm sure most of y'all figured out from my last stint on YouTube. We used to work together, so we know each other outside of this. Rob is a good old dude. 35 years. So I'm not talking bad about your dad comfort, but I bet he was getting cranky too after 61 years. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, my old videos are majority. I took a few down that were um, kind of not doing as good, or I didn't really like. I took them down, but yeah, most of my old videos are up. Yes, and obviously I have several new ones now up. So you're not wrong. He would get pissed. I think that just makes some of the best character though. They might be pissed off, but that might be some of the best character you could say. Speaking of my videos, Sam, anybody for that matter, old videos, new videos. I kind of wanted to ask this as a whole, y'all's opinion. What out of all the videos I've produced, which one is y'all's favorite? I know that's kind of a, you know, I don't know if you can answer that straightforward, but what is y'all's favorite video I put on the channel? Trade carrier, the trade carrier, etc. With bounties on it. Oh wow, that's crazy. HVAC is what you make of it. It's just like life. Get up and expect the worst, and you'll never be disappointed. That's from a Spider-Man movie. I feel like that quote. That's very true, Rob. I agree 100%. Every other tech had no clue what they're doing. I feel like that's one out of every three techs nowadays. It's sad to say. I hate to say that. My live stream last night, I kind of talked about the need for not just a surplus of technicians, but we need more good technicians. Yes, I want people to pursue HVAC, but I want you to be good at it. I want you to be a good tech. Strive to be the best you can be, or don't pursue it. Keep that mindset. Good mindset. Yeah, we need to get Rob back on the video train for sure, Sam. Right. Hey, Comfort Medic AC and Heating. Where are you based out of? I'm curious. I know, Rob. I hate that, man. New Orleans. You in Louisiana? New Orleans. That was kind of tying into a question I had for the chat here in a little bit. Nobody answered my question. What was y'all's favorite video I put on the channel, if y'all have one? I'm curious. I like to know these things, guys. So I can be sure to I'm kind of picky about my content. At least I am now. Oh, sorry, Sam. That was a little delayed. Troubleshooting calls. That's probably my favorite too. I love troubleshooting. That's probably my favorite part of running a service call is using my head and figuring out why is this doing that, or that's doing this. Picked gadget ideas. I got you. Becky Connor, how you doing, ma'am? The Yellow Jackets. Yeah, about one and about. There's probably a greater than a 50% chance you open a disconnect box in the summer, it's gonna have some bees in it. The new one where I busted the crook. Yeah, that was pretty proud of myself. That was first really the big scam I went behind. That was a big one for sure. My ductwork video. Is that the one? Is that the short I posted of that ductwork? I'm just curious. I feel like I have a lot of ductwork stuff, especially on my old stuff. All right, am I on my own? I am briefly on my own. I am lined up to go on with another company, but I'll get into that at a later date. Of course. JD, short with JD. Yes, my son. For everybody in the chat, Becky is my wife. She's upstairs with the baby. Have I thought about Air Serve franchise? I don't. I can't say I have. I always find new tools and solutions I haven't seen before. Well, that's interesting. I didn't realize I did that. I like tools. I'm a big tool guru, if that means anything to anybody. Like the heat pump replacing a lake. Yes, sir, Rob. Yes, sir. I remember that. 18 SEER had a shorted two-stage compressor. And I don't know if it's still like this, but Goodman, Amana, they honor you get a compressor failure on 18 SEER or higher, they will replace the unit. I don't know if it's still like that, but it was. Wait, that was in it. That's funny. That's awesome. I'm 24 too, Comfort. I'm also 24. 24. One second, guys. So you're from New Orleans. So one of the questions I had, if anybody knows, because I was kind of off YouTube for a good stint, pretty much As far as actually being active and even following anything on YouTube, I was pretty much absent for the entire year of 2023. I kind of took a shot at doing some uh, more factory type style videos. I completely scrapped that immediately. I was not really feeling that. I missed doing this, and I was just kind of longing for the opportunity to get back to what I was kind of doing before, and I finally found that spot. But anyway, I'll quit rambling. Um, you said you're from New Orleans. Does anybody know what happened to Mr. John Israel? Because I did a live stream with him one time. He's a pretty good guy. Loved watching his stuff, and I noticed he hasn't posted in a very long time. So, does anybody know what happened with him? I'm kind of curious. I used an affordable laser temp probe. Oh yeah, that thing was. It worked good. People kind of bashed it because it wasn't like a pro. It was a laser, not really like a metal probe. But we all can't be super techs. First time here. Hello everyone. Hello LED handyman. What's up, man? Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Transfer pump. Yeah, I like my water transfer pump. Uh, I got tired of my shop vac only getting about 10% of the water out of a condensate pan. That was annoying. The transfer pumps all the way. He may have had to go back to work at the company. That's true, but he had his own company, so I'm just wondering if he not doing it or something. Zay. Um. Oh, sorry, Comfort. I missed your chat. You're going to school for automotive. That's awesome, man. I hope that works out for you. The transfer. I actually got a new one now, a new transfer pump. I'll do a video on it. I'll do a short or something on it here in a day or two. I got a new one now. I've actually had a couple different ones, but I'll show you all the new one I got. Man, guys, text your friends. Let's get some more people in here. I'm enjoying this. About John. No, what about? Oh, you're John's. Okay. Oh, yeah, you're John's friend. Okay. Sorry, man. I didn't realize that. Yeah, okay, that makes sense now. You're in Louisiana. Okay. Sorry, I didn't pick up on that till just then when he commented. Is it Zay? Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Starts with a Z. Okay. I'm clear now about it. I'm clear. Hello, Brittany. Yeah, I don't. Nobody's really answered my question yet. I'm just curious. Where am I located? I am in North Georgia. I'm about an hour and a half north of Atlanta. That answers your question. Well, here briefly. I'm on my own, but I'm about to work for a company again very soon. You asked my question to someone who would know a few weeks ago and wondered the same because I wondered the same thing. Hey, Cabbage. What's up, Cab? So, do you know Sam? Did you get an answer to that, buddy? I'm just curious. I just like you dropped off the face of the earth. The answer was, oh man, drum roll please. Leaving us hanging. No sir. Cabbage says he. He's fine, but he doesn't care for you to. Okay. So he says his business and stuff. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I get that. I know he went through some stuff there, but I get that. I understand kind of where he's that feeling he's getting. So I get that. I don't like to dip too much into that, but I'd say John. To me, John was like the Donald Trump of the YouTube heating and air world. He, I liked what he said, and he didn't really care to say it either. So yeah, I mean when I quit my first stint, I at least put a video up for y'all for a while. So yeah, I was kind of thinking that he should at least said something. But hey, that's his thing. I won't dig too much into that. I just hate he's gone. I liked him. Yeah, I just I hate that. What's on some of the bigger guys? What other guys do y'all like? Who's some of y'all's favorite guys like HVAC YouTubers that are a little bit bigger than me? Who do y'all like the best? Would you say, or who do y'all find the most value out of watching? I'm just curious. Steve Lab, two at the same time. I had a feeling that was coming. Oh, Steve, I always get a kick out of him. I learned a lot from him. If I want a good laugh, I turn him on first thing. Steve Lab, Mike Reed. Never heard of Mike Reed. I'll have to look into that. You like to listen to him talk, Rob? That's the truth. He's he's a fun dude to listen to. Learn a lot too. You have big life plans. Well, I hope you chase those plans and grab onto them, man. Make them happen. Make them happen. I hope it works out for you. YouTube will be one. I think, yeah, YouTube for sure. I think if you can make YouTube get off the ground, 100% go for it. I definitely enjoyed my stints. Cooling with Kraus. I'm not sure. Oh, I've never heard of them. I'll have to look into them too. Excuse me. Restaurant work. How to start a business. Okay. Well, Steve Lav is a big one I've watched. Ted Cook is a big one for me. I'd say I have three that kind of when I first got into HVAC and started watching on YouTube, the kind of what inspired me to learn more and then eventually start my own YouTube. I have three. I have three big ones. All right. Ted Cook, um, the guy out of Texas, WWHVAC. That guy is awesome. I watched him a lot. And Curtis, HVAC guy. Those are probably my three big ones. Um, Curtis is from South Georgia. I'm North Georgia, so we have that in common. I know we're both dogs fans, so we have that in common. Probably him and Ted and um, WWH Fact. Probably my big three. Learned the most from those guys. Inspired my channel. When I watch Steve Lab, I try telling him what's wrong with it, but he don't listen. Oh, that's funny, Rob. I wish I had video of you talking to your screen with him talking in the background. That's funny. Gray furnace man. Some of these guys must be smaller like me. Never heard of him. Reliable HVAC. I've heard of him. Definitely watched some of him. Not as much, but I have seen a few. Mm, this coffee's hitting at 9:30. I'll be up all night. AC service tech. I've never heard of them either. I will definitely look into these guys. I promise. I just, I guess you could say Curtis and Ted and them are the bigger ones. HVAC. I have seen those, Rob. HVAC. California is good to watch. He's a little anal, but very smart. Hey, I mean, some people say that about Steve Lav. I still like him. I still watch him. So, people say that about John Israel. I still like him. I still watch him. Everybody has their opinions. Like I said, everybody can't be super tech. Everybody has a personality. Just remember that. Just remember that. Man, y'all gave me a lot of names I need to go look up. A lot of names. Let's see, what's some other ones I've watched that I didn't speak about? I'll tell you my big three that kind of inspired me, but um, he's not in here tonight. But another guy I've actually had conversation with in lives, um, everything HVAC. He's out of Kentucky. I think he's right around 10,000 subscribers. That's pretty big to me. Um, definitely learned. He does a lot of refrigeration, I think, kitchen stuff. I learned from that too, big time. Am I asking about service calls only or any HVAC channel? Mm, really, just HVAC in general. I mean, I know the guys that I like to watch mostly do service calls, but yeah, heating and air in general. Yeah, whichever. Sorry, I'm 1 second working on this thing. Misfit of HVAC every Saturday night. So I've never heard of those. I must be under a rock when I'm on YouTube. Must be under a rock. I like just a certain certain number of people. You must have seen HVAC school. Yes, I have seen that. Yep, have seen that one. Misfit of HVAC. So they do like every Saturday night, or is that just when you watch them? Handyman. Who does more videos of installations? That's a great question, Brittany. That's a great question. I can't even answer that. I'm gonna ask the chat. Who do y'all know? Who does the most installations? It ain't the guys I watch. They're either owners. I think Ted and Curtis are owners that run service, as far as I can tell. I guess WWHVAC, he does some installs. There's that OTJ guy. He talks just like Steve Lab. I don't know if I've seen that guy. Unless you showed him to me, Rob. I don't know. Mike Reed will tell you how to get work from the manufacturer and how to get the work. Well, that might be interesting to look into because I know some people struggle with getting anything out of a manufacturer. Prime, what's this button right here? It cuts off my tab. Prime AC and Heat does good work. I'll add that to my list to check out. Check them out too. Who do y'all think does the most installations on their channel? That's a good question. I know I don't, which I took a brief stint in installations in my career, but quickly returned to service. Very quickly. Prime, okay. You're saying Prime AC. Okay. All right, everybody. If you want to see HVAC installations, Prime AC. Prime AC and heat, apparently. Check it out. Check it out. Check them out. Guys, if you're enjoying this Hangout and you're not subscribed, let's smash the sub button. How about it? Misfit. Are you saying Misfit does installations too? The HVAC. HVAC Hick Jennifer. Okay. I'll add that to the list. Man. High quality installs. That's hard to come by. High quality installs. I'll definitely look into that channel. Prime AC and heat. Check them out. Oh, okay. She owns her own company. Wow. I respect that. That's awesome. I know there's a lot of women figures out there that are high up that I've, that do trainings and stuff, or I think more on the sales side that are big, big factor. But to have a lady that owns her own heat and air company, that's awesome. It's the first one I probably heard that owns their own company. That's cool. Tip my cap. That is awesome. Yeah, I should have grabbed a piece of paper and wrote all these down. I definitely will get to it. Every Saturday night. Okay. I will, well, if I have a chance this next Saturday night, I will at least pop in and check it out for a little bit. Okay. She has to ask for help service. Ask for help service number for tech to call. Wow. So that's just open to anybody. Let's say if there's a tech on a service call and they need help, they can call her directly. Or is that just for? Oh, is that just for her company? Guess you can come. Could be on it. I mean, I don't know if they'd want me. I'm not very big yet. I feel like you got to be a certain size person to be on stuff. But yeah, I'm curious. Not true. Well, I mean, I hope it's not true. That'd be awesome to be on there. I'm still curious about that ask for help service number. LED. Yeah, Rob, for sure. For sure. Okay. I'll definitely check that out this next Saturday. I'll definitely check into that. It's not about who you are, it's about what you know. That all is what it boils down to. That's a very good point. Kind of like I mentioned in the live stream last night, The more the better off you're going to be. Um, aside from YouTube, if you're just out in the field, um, the more valuable you can be to your employer, the better. And I'm going to do a whole video on that as well. But that'll be the title of a stream or a video coming up, guys. How can you be more valuable if you're working for a company? Um, how can you be more valuable to that company? Big, big, big deal. Big deal. I did want to go over one quick topic here while we have a little while, but um, those of you that work for a company, under a company, I'm gonna ask this in a kind of an odd way, or at least it is to me. On a scale from 1 to 10, the people that work for a company, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much are you pressured to sell? On a scale from 1 to 10, how much are you pressured to sell at the company? There's a difference in a company that wants you to sell, and there's a difference in a company that wants you to be the best person and technician that you can possibly be. All right. There's a big difference. I want to see y'all's thoughts on that. But answer my question. Well, what would you say? 1 to 10, how much do you think your company tries to make you sell? 7. Wow. I've been on both ends of this number. I'll share my thoughts in just a minute, but 6, okay. Cool. Good. Milwaukee Makita Comfort. Is that your favorite tools, man? I'm a Milwaukee guy through and through. I know Rob, he's a Makita fan, I think, or he was. I don't know if he still has Makita drills. Makita man. They're pretty good. I've never owned any, but what? You mean I could work for someone and not myself? You can't work for someone, but if you can work for yourself, I think the majority of people's goal is that if you can make it work. Yeah, my dad started with them. That's cool. Yeah, go for it. That's awesome. So he passed it all down to you. That's awesome. So we got a 7, a 6. So I've been on both ends of that spectrum, and I can say on the end where it's been a 8 or higher, 9 or higher, 9 to 10. Just that's basically their motive is to sell. Um, I don't know. I was making it work for me, but it just it didn't feel right. You know, you know. I don't know. I feel like um, I think majority companies should be designed to um, worry less about what the technician sells and more about what that technician can do for your clientele. Don't worry about what kind of items they can sell. Worry about what kind of relationships they can build with your clients. Is a big one. And if they don't have to worry about selling, sell, then they're going to be better, in my opinion, technically, and their mind's going to be a little more sharp. Because there are companies out there that have a system in place to you don't even really need to be you don't really need to be a very technical minded technician to go out and run a van, run calls. Um, commission based pay leads to dishonest tech. Absolutely wrong. That is 100% right. That's where I was kind of going with this. Um, commission based pay is not very cracked up. It's not as cracked up as it sounds at first. So, I mean, if you're working for a company that's commission pay, I don't mean to Debbie down you here, but it's and maybe not, you may not be a dishonest person, but the principles that are applied definitely make it dishonest, based off my experience. So I'll kind of leave that with that. That's absolutely true. Um, look for companies that are going to be more invested in you, not just what you can bring them in. Don't look at a company that's looking at what can you do for them. Look for a company um, that wants to invest in you, not just training you, not putting an ability in you to that's going to benefit them. They're kind of skipping over your technical side. Salesman with a tool bag, 100%. And I think we see it more and more. That's kind of like that call I just ran with the bad blower motor. 100% what I was coming across there. Um that was pretty much, I would say, one of those situations. I mean, it could have just been straight up dishonesty. Just it might have been the person itself, but it very well could have been the company. They might have been. I've had friends. I've talked to them. They've been with companies, really big companies, and if they didn't consistently bring in $1,500, $2,000 a day, net profit, consistently, they were gone. Adios, out the door. So I kind of get off that. I know I don't want to ramble on too much about that, but um, they just have to look like a tech until your system is shot. Yeah, I think it's important to look professional. It's more what comes out of here than it does this. 100%. A good knowledgeable tech who is thorough will find enough issues to repair, generate revenue for a company. Absolutely, Rob. Absolutely. 100% agree with that. Definitely agree with that. Out here, they charge $450 for capacitor. Wow. Wow. That's pretty high. I mean, I think the most I've ever had to charge for one was mm, not near that. Yeah, under 400, but still, it's like, things like that. Capacitors, contactors, thermostats are a big one. And that's all about how you spin that. Spin that to the customer. You got to be careful on how you bring that up, because I would say you have a lot of times you have those type customers. As soon as you leave, some of them don't even wait till you leave. They'll do it while you're outside. They're already on the phone or on the computer. I can get this part, $20 on Amazon. I know y'all hear it all the time. So you have to kind of have to know how your company operates on how you can kind of handle that objection, as you would say. There's enough that it legitimately goes down in these units to make good profit without upselling. Oh, absolutely, Sam. Absolutely. There's companies out there. Say you go out to the system, you're working with this company. You go out to the system, you find a speck of mold. Unit's running great, speck of mold. That company's expecting you to sell $2,000 in IAQ. No, I mean, they might have a way they want you to spin that, but it still doesn't make it upselling 100%. Yeah, that's good stuff, Sam. Y'all are all putting some great stuff on here. I appreciate it. I love talking about this stuff and getting it out there. Yeah, I think upselling is something that's kind of gotten bigger and bigger thing that people do. Um, and I think that'll only get worse as we go along. Only will get worse. I guarantee it. And with the way the equipment is coming nowadays, this higher and higher efficiency stuff, and R410A about to phase out. So that's about to go through the roof like R22 did. Um, Stuff in general is already going to be out the roof. Price of new equipment, you already have that factor, and you try to still have these people that are upselling. You know, it'd probably make it harder for them to upsell, but that just kind of puts fuel to the fire of dishonesty a lot of times. So we'll see, but I just know with the price of stuff going up, like everything else, um, it's just going to make it more and more ridiculous to upsell, from a client or a customer's perspective. So, what's that phrase? Speck a mole? I don't think I've ever heard that phrase. Eye for an eye. I mean, could you say that? An eye for an eye? Maybe. I'm an electrician. First, change my price. My customer agrees every time because I'm honest with them. Well, yeah, that goes back to everything we've been talking about. You can be a great technician and you can be profitable for your company by being honest. It can be done. So this is how I see running a service call. Okay, a standard service call. Let's say I go to Miss Betty's house, and it's all, what are we in, August? It's July, August. It's hot, 100 degrees. Her capacitor's dead. Let's say it's a 7-year-old unit. It's not too old, but it's old enough the capacitor to die because it's crap capacitor. Okay, parts from the factory, crap. All right, cut corners, whatever. So I go in, and I'm going to be honest with this lady. I'm going to go out. I'm going to find the part, or I'm going to find the problem. I'm going to repair the problem. Okay, I'm going to thoroughly go through the system to verify there are no other issues with the system that are causing it not to run. If the capacitor's dead and that's the only thing causing it not to run, I'm going to tell her that. And then I'm going to, because of her paying a service for me to be there, I'm going to go through the system. And if I find anything that I see needs to be done, we'll talk to her, bring it to her attention. Give her all your options. But I think the biggest thing that people need to kind of get away from, don't be pitching something. Don't be pitching hard something she doesn't need. If she's talking to you about some stuff like air quality or filtration upgrades, then by all means, discuss that with her. Don't be a car salesman in there in the living room, you know. Just be straightforward with your calls. Be honest with these people. And, if you do that every time, go through the whole system, you're gonna find enough to keep you profitable, because 9 out of 10 systems have something that needs to be corrected. You just have to be honest and explain what everything you're doing. All right, let's catch up on some chat here. Charge my price, spell check issue. Oh, okay. No problem, man. No problem. You said that, Jesse. I don't know. It sounded like a speck of mold to me. Okay. Does anyone in this chat have to worry about ticket averages? That's a great question, Rob. Rob, ask it. Does anybody have like a ticket average they have to hit? Like, does the company set a minimum ticket average for you to hit? Anybody? I mean, is that still a thing? I mean, I know it's a thing for some people. Obviously, it is for Rob. Yeah, I want to hear y'all's thoughts on that. That's a big one. I just fixed a 45-year-old system with all new electronics. Wow. 45 years. Wow. What brand was that, handyman? I'm going to guess a Rude. I'm going to guess a Rude. I feel like I've seen the oldest ones of those. Well, everything is posting on YouTube. He needs to get in here in the chat. Come hang out with us. 45-year-old system. I bet that's a rude. If I'm wrong, so be it. I bet that's a rude. So tell me, handyman, what brand was it? No minimum ticket at our place. Well, that's nice. That takes the pressure off. Hey, Mark. Good to see you join the chat. So, Mark, tell me, man, if you don't have a minimum ticket, but what is your ticket average, if you don't mind sharing that? I'm curious. If you don't have that, you don't really have that pressure. So, what's your ticket average? 726. Oh, speck of mold. I said a speck of mold. Okay, I see. Mold, like the black stuff that grows when it's wet, wet and dark. That stuff. 726. That's a great ticket average, Mark. That's awesome. That's awesome. Breaker, fuses, fasteners, thermostat, everything, and it was a Takumish. Takumis. I can't even pronounce that name, much less know what it is. That's funny. Dang, that's good. Yeah, it is, Rob. That's a heck of a ticket average. I mean, I know it's summer, but gosh, that's like perfect. Thank you, Brittany. Brittany, Sam is thanking you. 3 to 4 calls a day, though. Got to take your time. I mean, I think that's the company I'm about to go work for now. They have a 4-call minimum a day. They have such a wide technician base that can actually make that happen. So stuff can be left that way. But I agree. Any company, if you want to do it right, 3 to 4 calls a day. You know, the guys that are out here, and I know some companies operate different, but you know, if you're out here busting out 10, 11 calls a day, come on. You're not being as thorough as you should and could be. Let's be honest. You're probably fixing it, turning it on, making sure it's cold, getting out. I mean, let's be honest. Come on. Because I used to run those 8 to 10 calls a day. I know how it is. Rob, how many calls you running a day? Yeah, 3 to 4 is the sweet spot. Breaker and fuses, capacitors, thermostat, everything. Redid everything. Wow, they must have really not. They must have really not wanted a new unit. I have to confess, my wife didn't want me to change unit on her son's house. Huh. Interesting. 45 years old. It's got all new electronics. It should live to be 80 now. No. Do you know if that was the original compressor, handyman? Missed the first part. Did you talk about the job thing? Are you still at the company working for yourself now? Yes, I briefly touched on that. The company I was at when I first started my YouTube, I'm no longer with. No, and I've briefly been with on my own, very briefly, but I'm about to start with a new company. So that's kind of my up-to-date history. Do you still do Goodman Amana, or I see some Carrier in your newest video? I feel like every other call has been a Bryant or Carrier lately. That's still my favorite to work on of all equipment. I feel like Bryant and Carrier, even their higher efficiency systems, I feel like they're very more straightforward than anyone else. I have had my fair share of arguments with the Infinity system, but I've gotten better. But Carrier and Bryant's still my favorite to work on. I will say, after my brief stint in installations, I don't like Daikin and Goodman as much because of how flimsy their new furnaces are. It's unbelievable how garbage the the grade steel they use, like just to build, like to build them. Horrible. I was hoisting one up in the attic. I wasn't even pulling that hard. He's using a rope and stuff, kind of make it easier, and it just bent the top, all the crap. So definitely Goodman and Daikin went down on my totem pole. Yes, original compressor. Well, I hope that thing lives to be 80 years old and breaks the world record of oldest heat and air equipment. That would be cool. That would be cool. That would be cool, man. So, Handyman, what part of California you in? Tuning in from the West Coast tonight. Yeah, I've definitely just been doing Carrier mostly here lately. I think it's been a while since I've touched a train, but all original until I did the service call. Wow, that's pretty good. 45 years and all original. They don't build them like that no more. At least it don't seem that way. That's for sure. Hmm. Do I get a fair share of drain issues up here in North Georgia? Well, Mark, that's about every other call, man. Every other call. I don't know if the humidity we have contributes to, you know, dirtier drain pans, dirtier drains, but or if that's just a normal thing across the board. But yeah, every in the summertime, I feel like every other call, every third call is a drain issue of some sort. Absolutely. What's up, Tech Junkie? Welcome to the chat. Riverside, California. That's awesome. I'm a I'm a racing fan. There used to be a road course, racetrack in Riverside, long, long time ago. That's cool. We get it a lot because of I hate this little heart button they got here. The high humidity here. Oh, you're North Texas, Mark. That's cool. What part of North Texas? What's the biggest town you're near? Dallas, Fort Worth. That's cool. I've never been to Texas, but I definitely want to go. My dogs are playing Texas and Austin this year, but I unfortunately cannot go. I'd love to. Me and my wife try to do one away game a year, but not going to make that one this year. We have never had this many calls on condensate, and the problems are condensate on stuff that's never had issues before. Hmm. I don't know how to. I don't know how to help you on that. I've never had this many. It might just be a coincidence. I mean, I feel like there's going to be condensate issues with lack of maintenance. A lot of systems, so it just could be a lack of maintenance in your area where there used to be maintenance. I mean, where'd I get this old school hat? I believe it was the store of Palmetto Moon. That answers your question. Riverside Speedway, and I was there every year. Well, that's cool. Well, my uncle was on Bill Elliott's pit crew, and that's where Bill got his first win. Was in Riverside, so that's cool. That's cool, man. Yeah, Palmetto Moon on the hat, if I remember right. Dew points are about 5, 7 degrees higher. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I know July was awful wet, a lot of rain. But yeah, to go back to the service call thing, I mean, every other call I feel like is in the summertime, and I think everybody can agree with this. It's either a drain issue, refrigerant, or capacitor. I mean, I feel like that's your 9 out of 10 times it's one of those three in the summer. So it's not the lines that are clogging; it's just the air having more moisture than ever before. Oh, okay. So are you saying like the drains are not clogging, y'all are just having more condensation on the equipment, on the ductwork? Is that kind of what you're saying? Fontana Motor Speedway is the closest to me or Vegas. Well, Fontana got demolished for a warehouse or something. I guess Vegas will be your closest track. Excuse me, guys. Trying not to sneeze. Whew. Whew. Where are you located, Tech Junkie? I'm curious now that you've told me these issues. Commercial ductwork condensation isn't a huge issue. A few calls I've been have zip ties the ends of the line set insulation. Hmm, that's interesting. Usually, always when I've been on calls, more times than not, if I have condensation on my ducting, my unit, it's usually always an airflow issue. Statics too high, um, or something with airflow is usually the issue. Roanoke, Virginia. I think my sister-in-law used to live near there. Roanoke, Virginia. Been through Virginia several times. I will say on that condensation issues, um, you can also, blower speed. Make sure blower speed is good. Check your static. Um, and a lot of times, just see what the R value of the ducting is. That's a big one. High humidity in the air around the ducting. That's very true, Rob. Thanks for putting that on there. Raises the dew point. That's very true. Um, that's going to be a problem going forward in the next, 5, 10 years of this newer, higher efficiency equipment. Um, you know, you see it more and more. These high efficiency equipment installed in unconditioned spaces. Um, just it doesn't really make sense to be doing that, and that also is going to contribute um, to these issues you're seeing. It's just going to make it worse with the higher efficiency stuff. So I guess we shall see what happens. Auto Club Speedway is still there. Well, I saw a picture the other day, man. It was down in turn one. It was completely leveled. They had a foundation of a big old Amazon warehouse poured. Like we need more Amazon, but yeah, it was kind of sad. One call I had was a leak, and it turned out the suction line was condensating back up into the insulation. I zip tied the insulation and then used insulation tape. The key is blocking airflow. I mean, I definitely could see that being an issue, but if you have condensation, I don't know if it's a horizontal air handler. If you have condensation under, on the outside of the unit or on the ducting, um, that's kind of what I'm talking about, kind of looking for. Not yet demonstrated. Just oh, okay. Well, hey, maybe they'll bring it back. That'd be good. Airflow back up into the line between the insulation pipe itself. Okay. Airflow back up into the line. Okay. I mean, yeah. That definitely is something that needs to be fixed. But one second, guys. Sorry. Sorry about that. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I hope they don't close it down. I like that. I like that place for sure. So, all y'all that are still here, what's y'all's um, what's y'all's opinion on the new R32 coming January 1st? Or not January 1st, but in general, what do y'all think about R32? You love R32. Well, I ain't got my hands on it yet, but I'm not very optimistic about it. It's already getting installed, right? Some systems. Just like R22 forgiving. Well, I guess that's good. But so you say it's just like R20. I thought it runs similar pressures to 410 though. That's what I was told. And it's flammable. So 10 more. What's up, Tech 5? Thanks for chatting, man. I hope it's just like 22. Maybe the equipment will last longer. Nice to meet y'all. Have a great evening. Thanks for joining the chat, Henny man. Appreciate it, man. Have a good night. It's a single component. Pressure's the same, not flammable at all. Well, I hope you're right. That's not what that's not what I've heard about it, but I hope you're right. I think well yeah, okay. I'll let you know when I start working on it. Haven't put gushes. What are gushes, Rob? Gauges, I got you. 410 is flammable. I think all of them are somewhat flammable to a percent. I love R22 and 410A or 140A. Kaboom! I wouldn't mind if they. It's a money grab. I'll tell you what it is. It's the EPA. I'll give y'all a few minutes to trash the EPA in the chat if y'all'd like. Goodman and Daikin will be the only one using. Is that right, Rob? I knew they were. I knew they were one of the first to bring it out, but are they the only ones going to use it? Interesting. I love it. I love it. Do Freon micro channel coils are already here, but I guess there'll be more of them. Is that what you're saying? Oh, I love it. Gushes. So you have a name for your gauges. Awesome. Awesome. The money grab. 407C 22 for sale and 410A for sale. Well, you should be a rich man if you got 22 to sell. Open patent, no money in it. Daikin holds the. Oh, I should have known that. Because I did a Daikin training class back in March. But that was just to go over the new fit system, the Daikin fit system, which I've actually got to work on and install a few. But they had 410A, so I don't know. 134, 1234 YF at AutoZone. I don't work on cars, nor do I look at car refrigerant for cars, so I do not know what the price is. Oh, fit. I have a lot of questions for you. I own a fit. You own a fit. Okay. Well, if you're installing a fit, I have one suggestion for everyone. There are, when you install the fit system on the outdoor unit, there are, on the control board, there are a set of dip switches. I think there are four of them. If you're looking straight at the board, I believe they're the set of two dip switches on the right. They're in the up position. Whichever position they're in from the factory, they need to be, they're up. They're up. So they need to be turned down, turned off. If you do not do this, the fit system, when you go to start it up, will not come out of test mode. Will not come out of test mode. You have to hit these dip switches, or you will be scratching your head for a while. Um, Luckily, that class I took in March eliminated me from ever having to deal with that. But yeah, there are two dip switches on the outdoor board. You have to hit them before you start it up, or it will be in test mode until you figure that out. So I hope that helps somebody. 454B, I actually did hear that, Rob. That is correct. Thank you for refreshing, jiggling my memory bank. That is correct. 454B. One thing that I worry about with the 32 is my gauges, but or um my gushes. uh, just saying it's expensive. How much do you own in tools? That's a good question. A lot. I would say if I had to go through my tools and look at the price tag on everything, I would probably say I'm in the $8,000 to $10,000 in tools, give or take, roughly. Extremely expensive, more than R22. Wow. Well, that's like I said earlier. Everything's going up, never going down. But hopefully after November that'll change. What about recommended setting in the dealer setup? Is there anything change other than the defaults? So the dock and fit thermostat, um, if I remember correctly, I didn't have to do a whole lot. I know there was an issue at first that they had to be connected to power and like do this update, but I think they worked that out and they are very, very easy to install and set up. There's really nothing you have to change other than your normal setup, like you would on any other thermostat. So I've been doing HVAC for 3 months and I'm at $2,000 in tools so far. Wow. Been semi in the industry for much longer. Well, that's awesome, Tech Junkie. I'm glad you shared that. I hope you stick with it. I'm glad to see you getting into the trade. $2,000 is a lot, but that's probably not a whole lot, to be honest. I mean, this stuff's so expensive. Um, Unless it's field piece, and then it's even more than expensive. It's astronomical. But yeah, good luck to you, man. I hope you take off and run. Everything will be micro channel, so systems will use less. Not sure. Yeah, we'll see. I'm kind of on the fence about micro channel. My fit is a little oversized. I'm just trying to get more dehumidification. I may be at the point where I just need a dehumidifier. Well, I'll tell you this, Tech Junkie. If you're wanting it to be dehumidified, an oversized system is going to actually be a nuisance for that. So if a system is oversized, the run times are shorter. Therefore, not as much humidity can be pulled from the air in the home. So if the system's oversized, shorter runtime, you have to have that runtime. So what the system will do, um, yeah, it'll lower the temperature, but it has to have enough runtime to actually pull that out of the air through the evaporator coil. So just keep that in mind. It's an expensive trade and it never ends. I agree with that 100%. It's not getting any cheaper. I tell you that. I very much tell you that. I'm almost finished with school. I've spent 35. Wow, 35,000 with Freon and van. So 34,000 was the Freon, and 1,000 was the van, right? uh, yeah, that's how it feels with refrigerant stuff. Right, my low calc comes in 2.1 tons. I have a okay. Well, it's kind of hard to say without physically seeing the house, the structure, but I don't. That's less than half a ton. It shouldn't be too bad of a problem. I'm talking like you shouldn't have. Let's say you have a 1,200 square foot house. You shouldn't have a 5 ton system in that house. That's no, that ain't gonna work. But you shouldn't have too much of a problem with that. I wouldn't think. Oh. By ACA rules, you're allowed 30. I'm sorry, 30% on a variable speed. Okay, yeah, that's right. Variable speed. Wasn't thinking about you having the communication and variable speed. So that is true. I remember that from the class. 30%. So you should be fine with that. That's cool though. If you don't mind me asking, how much was the fit? How much did that set you back? Because I've installed several. I kind of know. I kind of want to compare. 11. Okay. Wow. Okay. I think the ones is that with install. Is that did you do that yourself or is that through a company like the full shebang? I know when we were putting them in, it was they was doing some weird discounts. It's only you know I think when we put them in, okay, actually 10K of the four for oh, okay, it's around 10. I think the cheapest one we put in was I would say like 15. So that's pretty good. I mean that's fairly good. You said it's a 2.5, it's a little bit smaller, but 14, 15 was average. I would see those go in for. Excuse me. That's with a full 12, 12, 12 warranty. Oh, okay, I got you. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm hoping it's a pretty clean looking install. Well, you have a handyman. You have a van, so you've already got me beat. That's awesome though. That's cool. 16 SEER conventional systems quoted 18. Wow. See, that sounds like the company that I was installing for. 18K. Wow. I watch your videos and learn. Appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you watched. That's awesome. I am very thankful for all of y'all. Um, I I love doing this more than y'all could imagine. And the fact that I can even help one person, not just there anybody, is great. So very appreciative for everybody in here. Love doing this. Is there anything technical that we haven't discussed that is itching on your brain you want to talk about? I got all night if y'all want. Um, But I know there's always some stuff that's just on the tip of your tongue you want to debate or talk about. But I know we just went over the fit system. Anybody that just come in, we just discussed the fit system, the dock and fit, and also we went over R32, and I learned a few things or got told a few things. Um, so I'm excited to see. I hope these changes that are coming with refrigerant and equipment. I hope it it goes in a. I hope it goes toward that R22 feel, that direction. That would be nice. Do I think it will? I doubt it, but we shall see. R54B. Yep, we did discuss that. The pressures are different for vapor and gas at the same temp. Hmm. I mean, oh, vapor. Oh, and liquid. Sorry, I got you. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Y'all are teaching me. So that tonight. That's awesome. Good info. I'll definitely have to look into that. Carriers pushing 454. I think I did hear that. 454B. So what's closer? Um, I'm kind of behind on um like a lot of details. 454 is for money. Yeah, I definitely get that. But which one is closer to 410? Like right now, is it the 454 or is it R32? Which one is gonna be leaning towards the one or the other? Two trucks. Dang, you got a company or you just you soloing it? 32. Okay. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Well, y'all said Doc and patent it, so I don't guess they want to just give that away. Oh man. Two trucks. Closer in pressure and cost. I'm curious to see when R410A is discontinued. Like 20, I mean, we're basically doing R22 deja vu as far as how that happened, and I'm curious to see. I personally think R410A will be more expensive than R22 ever was here in about 5 years. But we'll see. We'll see. Closer in cost. R2032 is cheap, always cheaper than 454, 47. I kind of agree with you, handyman. I mean, for a long time, I mean, y'all can say what y'all want. I did it, never had a callback on it, but 407C worked fine as a band aid fix for R22 systems. Never had a problem with it. Never did. Um, I mean, that obviously can be argued, but I never had an issue with it. 454 is only 44 away from 410. Man, Rob, I thought you went to bed, son. That's awesome. I'm glad you're still in here. Pressures are always going to be higher than new efficiency refrigerants. I, yes and no. Yeah, that's true. But let me ask you this: um, R22 runs at lower pressure, right? Right. And like Mr. Handyman working on that 45-year-old system, I'm gonna guess that had R22 in it, right? I had to guess. So we see it all the time. Just higher pressure refrigerant in the system equal better efficiency. Yeah. What does that do to the longevity of that system? We hear it all the time. 68.9%. Well, I'm glad y'all are telling me this because I have not went into the full detail on this stuff. I've just kind of heard the main. what the main stuff. 454 is lower pressure. Okay, that's kind of what I was looking for. Okay, lower pressure than 410A. Low 10. Well, yes, yeah. Okay. Well, to be honest, I feel like has been a lot more heat pumps manufactured with 410 than R22 to this point in history. So you can that can kind of be argued both ways, only slightly. R22, or I'm sorry, R32 will be phased out before a 454 is. I could see that, Rob. I kind of would say that because if Daikin is the only one using it, I mean, wouldn't they really control when it's phased out? But I guess the EPA can tell anybody anything. So will never be in other countries. Yeah, let's keep it in the United States. USA, USA. R32 is used in other country in the world, but the USA for the last 15 years. Okay, I don't know if that's true. Somebody want to agree with him? I mean, if it is, that's because I feel like every Middle Eastern or European structure, I feel like has a mini split. I don't know what that is. I feel like you go to Europe, Asia, it's just mini splits everywhere. I don't know if that has something to do with it. But the USA is 30 years behind other countries in HVAC. Okay. I mean, yeah, they definitely. I definitely could see that with having the more efficient systems. R32 mini splits have been around for 20 plus years. I learned something new every day. I thought R32 was this new refrigerant that just been brought out. So y'all teaching me something tonight for sure. Well, that's a good point. Like the metric system. There we go. That's all you had to say. Well, thanks guys. I definitely just learned something new tonight. It's awesome. All right, let's move on from refrigerant talk. Um, I know that could be discussed forever, but one thing I wanted to ask y'all's opinion on tonight was um so basically when y'all run a service call, how do y'all deal with starting a whole new topic here? So if y'all have any last things to chat about with the refrigerant, go ahead. But I'm gonna move on to a different topic. Um, you run a service call. This is a big thing, like with procedure stuff. I guess you could say you run a service call. When you find the problem, say you go through the full system, do you and y'all answer me in the comments. You find the problem and just go ahead and fix it. Take care of take care of whatever needs to be done, or do you find the issues, go through the system, present it, and you know, and then do it after you present it, or you just ask right away if I find the problem, go ahead and fix it and do it, or do you go through it, find it, present it, and then fix it? If that makes sense. What is what's y'all's thoughts on that process? I'm curious to see how other people do it. I have done it both ways, and I prefer one way over the other. So that's why I'll ask that. 95% in Iraq, Kuwait. Well, I definitely can agree with that. Like I said earlier. Being in commercial, we do everything. We also do apartments. Anything under $1,000, do. Okay, that's a good point. So yeah, I've definitely on the commercial stuff I've done. I feel like there's always been a quota in place. Um, anything under 500, anything in 1,000, let's go ahead and do it. Because a lot of times in commercial, you're not dealing with whoever's taking care of the money or the bill, the invoice. You're not dealing with them face to face, and a lot of times that's why that's in place. Um, Rob said present first. Got to make sure they approve the work, their money. 100%, Rob. That's the direction I lead. Always present first. Don't just do it. You're in their home. You're at their house, their castle, whatever. Um, yeah, like you said, that's their money, and you have to give them an option. That's kind of going back to being honest and not trying not showing dishonesty to the customer, even though you may not be being dishonest, but if you go ahead and fix something instead of presenting it, I mean, I think that it's better received if you present it first. It just makes it a whole lot smoother. If it's a compressor change out or a condenser fan on a big unit, we do quotes. Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I mean for sure. A lot of time. I mean, 99% of the time you got to order a compressor. Um, fan motor that could go either way. I mean, you should always have a rescue motor on the truck, but sometimes you might want to get the factory motor. I mean, obviously if it's a warranty thing, you have to get it. But yeah, that might have sounded like a silly topic, but like I said, I've seen it go both ways, and I just wanted y'all's opinion because I definitely lean to more towards you got to get approval before you just do something. I like tech junkie. I like what you said about commercial stuff because a lot of times that you can't do that because you're not dealing with that person directly. You have to ask before you start if they give you permission or if they want to approve. Absolutely, you got to get an autograph. Is what I say. Um, Present it correctly and get the autograph, and then it'll go a lot smoother. Okay, y'all can definitely agree with that. Um, Cap contactor gas or a life safety issue. Life safety issue. What would that be? Like a like a can't think. Like a high limit switch. I charge for showing up plus mileage and present the problem. So handyman, do you charge a service fee and then a charge for like driving? Is that two separate invoices or is that all in one price? That's exactly right, Rob. Treat your clients like you would want to be treated. So yeah, I mean, if I was, that's oh, man, that's excellent, Rob. That's awesome. Um, that's exactly right. Just think about it. If you pull up to a house, walk up the door, knock on the door. If you could in that moment pause and switch roles with that person, um, how would you want that technician to talk to you, treat you, go through everything? And think about that as you're walking up to their door, and see if that don't work good for you. Future problems in the receipt. Gotcha. But you didn't really answer me, handyman. Well, do you do that two separate, or do you do it all in one? Your mileage and like a service fee. What's everybody's service fees? That's a good one, Rob. What's everybody charging for a service fee? I know commercial and residential. Can fluctuate, but let's say on a normal residential service call, what is y'all's um, fee to come out? Um, the last company I was with, it was 89 $89 for a normal residential service fee come out. Now, I've seen them as high as 105. I've seen them as low as 85. So just for a standard. Now, after hours, that kind of fluctuates. I've seen after hours calls as much as 400. I've seen them as low as 115. But a normal standard regular hours service fee, how much is it? 42. So you charge by the hour, Tech Junkie. 42 an hour. Okay. So I feel like I would get tired of trying to keep up with that unless you have like a clock that runs for you and tells you how long you've been there. Way too low. 42 an hour. I could see that being too. I mean, because you're only there an hour. 42 bucks. 42 an hour. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cheap. 159 after holiday. Oh yeah, holiday. That's didn't think about holiday pay. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, the 42 an hour would really. That could either be really bad or really good. Just depends on the call. That's to me. I don't like that. I'm sorry. That's too much uncertainty. Service fee should be flat rate. If you have to do something, and then a lot of times the service fee comes with your drive out there, and then usually like 45 minutes of diagnostic time. Anything over that, you're supposed to present to the customer. Okay, um, I've been here over an hour now. You know, your service fee, your let's say your $89 service fee, that was for me to come out in the first 45 minutes diagnostic time. Unfortunately, I apologize. It's taking longer than what I designated to diagnose. It's going to be this rate for however long extra I have to be here. Yeah, good for the client. Yeah, bad for the tech, good for the client. I definitely could agree with that. $80 plus 10 miles. So is that $15 just for is it 50? So 10 miles. So is it $15 every 10 miles? Oh, sorry, I didn't see your other one. $1.50 per mile using GPS. Interesting. Never seen that done like that before. So if they want you to drive 40 miles, you're making some bank right off the bat, huh? Compressor replacement. Okay. McDonald's in California is $20 in minimum wage. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that also is what's driving stuff like that's also what's driving people away from the trades. They go flip a burger and make more than an apprentice in heat and air. It's sad. I hate to see that, but it's true. It's out there. After charge, then divide by 0.60. Just paid $110. Brittany commented. I know someone just paid $110 for a service call. That's a little bit higher. A little bit higher on the spectrum, you could say. Like I said, the most I've ever seen charged for a normal, not just me personally, but what I've heard or came across. The most expensive one I've ever seen for a regular hour service fee was like 125, something like that. But then you have like these other ways, the hourly 42 an hour and charging by the mile. Um, no offense, man, but I thought that was always a joke. And I heard people say, "Oh, I charge by the mile," or "Do you charge by the mile?" or "Charge by the pound." I always thought that was some good humor, but hey, whatever works, whatever works. I hope that works good for you. Um, what does everyone change to replace a 35? Oh, what does everyone charge to replace a 35.5 cap? Great question, Rob. Great question. I think the last time I changed one, it was after tax. It was about, I would say, like around like 220, 215, 220, something like that. Plus you got the service fee, so the entire call, say if it's just a capacitor, 35.5, and the service fee, you're probably looking in that 340 range. Well, after tax, 320 to 340 for the call and the capacitor. So 18 years ago when I was doing um, plumbing, 75 an hour. Wow, crazy. 40 miles, hour and a half drive. What's up, Tech Five? Welcome back. $100 is good, then I may waive it if they do a repair. Dang, how much you charge for the repair? Waive $100. That's awesome. That's cool though. I bet you grab a lot of customers doing that. I definitely don't think I could do that. 313 before tax. Rob, you must be in your price book at the ready. You got your tablet in your lap, don't you, man? Oh, 313. I was close on mine, 320, 340. So I wasn't far off. I don't even know what the national average is now. I know 2 years ago it was like 250, but we got a new president, so that changed obviously. But 295, pretty close. Cap and oh, sir, that was just the cap. Okay, spoke too soon. So 444. Okay, well, a little higher than I was thinking. I must have went up over there. Um, that is crazy. Seldom enough to remember. Oh, I bet. I bet. Summertime right now. What's a cap cost? Well, on on the internet they're about $25, but that's just a capacitor. You don't have the 10 or 15 years of knowledge up here out there to install it. You don't have the warranty on the repair that might come with that company. Um, you don't have the labor to put it in. Basically, you're not paying for just a part, a capacitor. You're paying for the experience. Wise man once said, "It's not." Um, let's see, how did it go? It's not where. Um, it's not how I hit the hammer. It's where I hit the hammer. You know, you gotta know where to hit the hammer. Um, but yeah, that's kind of try to how I that's how I try to argue with people that say, "Oh, it's a $25 part." Well, it is. You're not paying just for the part. Check the national price guide average for HVAC repairs, just like groceries. It has all went up too. Oh yeah, man. I went to the grocery store the other night and I had 6 items, It's like $90 to $100 for like 6, 7 items. You know, I don't know how we can survive like that, but that's a good question. I haven't been to my local supply house in a while. Fun fact: the the guy who runs the supply house in my area, um, actually was my teacher in trade school. Little fun fact about me. So I got to have a kind of a cool connection with him even after school. So a little cool fact about me. Warehouse 10 to 15. Okay. Okay. Last company we had free diagnostic repair, but prices were built into the part. Turbo would be $175 out the door. That is a good deal. Turbos are like crazy high right now. Roger, what's up, man? That's exactly right. I just went over that. So you're not selling caps, you're providing a service. That's exactly right. Another thing you can tell people, um, that want to haggle you up on price, um, you're there to do a service. Heating and air, we're a service. We're providing a service. Something you can tell them in a nice way. Ask them this: when you go through the drive-through at McDonald's and you order a hamburger and fries, a quarter pounder meal, $13 or whatever, you don't get up to the window and say, "Well, that burger's only about $2.50 burger. What? Here, I just want to pay $2.50 for it." It don't work like that. That's exactly the same way with us. Um, the only difference is we're at their house, but it's the same thing. That's a service. It's a food service. We're a heating and air service. So they can't go through the line of McDonald's and haggle price. They can't. It's the same way with us. They can't haggle us on the price of the park. 'Cause we're there doing. We're doing our service. You call us out for a reason. We're there to serve you. But $50 cap, 42 an hour for 1 hour plus 20 cost. See, I respectfully disagree with that because I don't. I like to have the flat rate service fee and then the part, the repair, whatever, and it keeps it a lot more simple in my mind. But Universal is 125. Okay, 5-year warranty. It's pretty good. Because of inflation, it costs more to operate HVAC company. Very true. Prices definitely do reflect that. That's very true. My cap price is something times three for the part mileage, service fee 320. That's just a lot to keep up with. I would have to have a lot written on my paper for that one. They complain about price and look over if they have a $300 Yeti cooler. Probably $10 to make. That's very true. And that kind of brings up a new topic for me to go over y'all. So let's say that's always true. I'm talking strictly from experience right here. So they say don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a customer by their property. 100%. I have been out to the trashiest, nastiest, grungiest mobile homes, grungy old dude, trash, just horrible, horrible place to work. And go in, it's a big repair, four, not four, but let's say a six, seven, $800 repair cost. You're like, man, there's no way this guy's gonna afford this. And you get done with a call, he approves the repair, you're surprised, and you get done with a call, and he comes out and he opens up his wallet and he's just forking over $100 bills, cash, straight cash. And you bite your tongue, put your foot in your mouth, whatever, and you're like, wow, okay. And then on the contrary, You go to, I live in North Georgia, so let's say you're down toward Atlanta, suburbs, big, nice, beautiful white column house. Um, they got a Lambo sitting in the driveway or a Tesla. You walk in, and it'll say it's a cheaper repair. Let's say it's a blower cap, a 5 US blower cap. That's it. And the service fee, and it's barely $200, 250. And they look at you like you just tried to rob them of $1 million, and they moan and groan and finally, very reluctantly, pay, and or they say they can't pay for it, and or they make excuses until they finally pay you, like, oh, I don't have my wallet, my wife has a checkbook. Um, so yeah, I've seen that way too many times. So just because they have the pricey possessions don't mean they're gonna be an easy one to serve or have a big ticket out of them for a repair. So don't expect the worst out of a bad looking call. Don't expect the best out of a good looking situation. It could go either way. So, but anyway, back to the chat here. You do commercial, Tech Junkie. So the office does the pricing. Gotcha. Okay. I've never done straight commercial. So do you only do commercial, Tech Junkie? Um, quote out stuff. Plus, we only do 2 to 4 service calls a day. Like I said, that's how it should be. 2 to 4 service calls. Um, yeah. Okay. 2 to 4. That's how it should be. If you want to be thorough, be a good tech, serve properly. Oh, no weekends. You lucky. You lucky. Although where I'm going, about to start, on call is only every like 12 to 14 weeks. They have that many techs. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, no weekends. That's awesome. Home by 5. I can't say that. I don't think many people can say that. So that's cool. Um, Rob says HVAC techs have to invest a lot in training, education, and we work hard on late days, weekends, etc. Not to mention a liability involved in the work we do. We are not cheap. Very true, Rob. Preach it, man. Preach it. Everybody take note of that. We only install Mars caps made in the USA. Chinese caps do not last. I 100% agree with that, Roger. I love Mars caps. I don't think I've ever come across a bad one. Maybe one or two ever. Um, Mars makes a great capacitor. Love it. We have on call, but we vetted. Okay. Okay. Well, that works. Caps made in Florida. It's 5-year warranty. The manufacturer. But my labor is not free. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, that's nice. Restaurant. Oh man, don't get me started. The little bit of commercial I have done is usually been a restaurant and nasty, nasty. And I don't know why it's always a Mexican restaurant. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's what they cook with or if they cook some kind of oil, something different. And it seems like the air handler or the furnace is always above the kitchen. It's always so nasty. But yeah, restaurants can be a pain. 100%. Oh, that's good to know, man. Glad to hear it. Oh man, yeah, it's crazy. Those I guess that is the one side to commercial is um, you don't know what kind of nastiness you're going to run into that you might not see at a normal residential house. Especially with those restaurants. It's a big one. But anyway, thanks, Sam. Thanks for dropping in, man. Appreciate it. Love you a long time. Churches, bank. I've done a lot of churches. I guess I never really thought about churches. I'm kind of in the country, so I didn't really think about churches being commercial. But yeah, they are. I've never worked on it. Yes, I have. I have worked on a bank one time. That was not fun. I remember it was a 5-ton heat pump, and the air handler was in a closet, and there's about 500 of those bank metal chairs in the way. And me and this dude spent like 30 minutes um moving chairs. I was so pissed. We actually charged extra for that, an inconvenience fee. Stuff like that, you having to move a bunch of stuff, that should always 100% be an extra charge. That's just especially if they know you're coming, they know you need to get to the equipment. It really annoys me. It happens though. Thanks for tuning in, but Rob, appreciate it, man. Talk to you later. I'm doing a $1 million install band on a band. I guess they meant bank. Mitsubishi multi-city units. That's awesome, dude. Sounds like a good job there. VRV. Okay. Nice. 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 Am I near Curtis, the HVAC guy? Yeah, I kind of went over that at the beginning of the stream. So yeah, Curtis, he's kind of one of my big three that I started watching, kind of my inspiration, I guess you could say. Um, yes, he's in South Georgia. I'm in North Georgia. So I'm not really sure what part of South Georgia he's in, but I know he is in Georgia down there. But I'm about an hour and a half north of Atlanta. Um, I know he's pretty extreme south. So yes, we're in the same state. Oh, Greenville, South Carolina. That's awesome, Roger. My brother-in-law, sister-in-law, they lived in Greenville for a number of years. So I've been to Greenville several times. So that's where Ted Cook is, ain't it? Greenville? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've been to Greenville several times. HVAC guy in HVAC art survival. I've seen that one. Yeah, Ted is in Greenville. I thought he was. Really? You work for Ted? That's cool, man. You do all of his maintenance work. So what do you mean maintenance work? Are you like a tech for him, or are you so you have like rental properties you do maintenance on, or is that what you're meaning? Thought Ted was in Texas. I think the WWHVAC guys in Texas. I think there's a lot of HVAC guys in Texas though. Jump King. I'm not sure if I have the Jump King tool. I don't think I do. Not sure what the Jump King is. Waiting on Roger to get back to us. I'm just curious of what he does for Ted. That's interesting. What gauges do you use mostly? Well, I have kind of two different ones. Um, my everyday go-to is I have the field piece wireless probes, like most of us, and I also have the field piece S-Man 480s, and I've loved using both sets. I usually use the probes more for like maintenances and stuff. And if I'm on a service call, I usually just grab my S-man. I like using both. Okay, part time for him. That's awesome. That's cool, man. I like Ted. I like watching him. I've learned a lot from him. That's awesome. That's cool. I love that. Love the field piece. Yeah, I love field piece. I haven't used something from them that I didn't like. I know a lot of people that I've worked with, they like Testo. Or, not a huge fan of Testo. I tried to use some one time, but just didn't really like them. That's awesome, Roger. Cool, cool. Call him the doctor, Dr. Testo. That's funny. That's awesome. What everybody that's still in here, what gauges do y'all use? I know field piece obviously probably the most popular, but what are you other guys using? When I first started, I had um, Yellow Jacket, something. I already forgot what it was, but it was something from Yellow Jacket. These probes have several S-mans, but once I went to the probes, I'm hooked. Field piece for me. That's cool. Yeah, that's kind of how it was. I still like to grab my S-mans. Just I don't know. I like going back and forth with it. But awesome, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun. I am very appreciative for each and every one of y'all. We will definitely be doing this again soon. But I need to sign off and take care of some things. But appreciate y'all. Love each and every one of y'all. We will tune back in again soon. And yeah, I thank everybody for coming on. And we'll talk soon. All right. Y'all have a great night. Appreciate it, guys.